Ambu, you take up the spotlight thingy there. Ambu.
I want to thank Springboard Tales for coming and giving this presentation. I believe the title of the presentation is Cafe-storia, like cafeteria, but Cafe-storia. And it's a drama with storytelling in the drama. So it's going to be a very interesting presentation. And so I want to thank the entire team. I can't say everybody's name, but I want to thank everybody. And please take it away.
Thank you, Eric, for this opportunity. Well, good morning, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying this gala celebration of stories that's going on. And here today, we welcome all of you to share this beautiful space with us. We are the Springboard Tales. And on behalf of Springboard Tales, I would like to welcome all of you to take a sneak peek into those moments where we met and we discussed our stories and our stories got ready to be served before you. So, welcome to our Cafe-storia.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Banu.
See, finally a reason to meet.
Not that we need a reason, but still,
Yeah, that's true. But it's been a while since all of us met in person, though.
True. And for that, we have to thank Eric and our very own Chennai Storytelling Festival, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, very true. See, everyone is almost here.
Hello, hi Banu, hi Dave.
Hey, Priti.
Hi, Prati. Okay. Lovely as usual.
So much better to meet in person than in the Zoom windows, right?
Always, always Banu. Oh, look, Priya is here. Hi. Oh, wow, you managed to get here on time, Priya?
Thanks for making time on your busy schedule, madam.
Actually, you know what? I have snuck out of class right now. I hope I don't get into any trouble.
Even if you do, it's worth it.
Okay.
Because it is after all Springboard Tales at CSF, Priya. It will be incomplete if you miss. Come on.
True. See, Anju is there.
Hi, girls. Oh my God. I just can't believe it. I finally made it for a meeting with all of you in person. Yay.
If you don't believe it, I can pinch you.
Oh, no. Thanks, Prati. You know what? Today, I think I'll sit next to them.
Oh, can't you? You were just so sweet. I can't imagine you drove all the way from Bangalore just to meet us.
Yeah.
See, Priya, learn.
Okay. I think it's time to pick on someone else. So you were saying Banu?
Yeah, where is the Ambu?
She's been on her way for a long time.
Yeah.
But you know her, right? Her endless to-do list. Sessions online, offline, then her Veena classes, then her son's classes, then attending other sessions, then composing music for everything. Pavam.
Oh, yeah, Pavam Ambu.
Hi, girls. Who is this Pavam?
You only, Ambu?
Me?
Yeah, you have so many things to do now, Ambu.
And I was like listing out the things from your busy schedule.
Yeah, and she got tired while talking about it only, Ambu. Oh my God, how many things you do? I can't imagine doing it. Yeah, chance.
Enough, girls. You make me feel so special like you always do. Love you all so much. But I'll tell you what, yes, it's not easy keeping track of so many things and remembering everything and if traveling on different tracks. It does take Sometimes, it takes a toll on my mental and physical sanity, compromising my energy and time. But still, sometimes I do feel, why am I doing all these? Let me stay away from these. But I'll tell you what, when I do that, I feel I'm not living. And this is my life and only I can live my life, right? It feels so happy, the chaos, the confusion. I just love that. And I'm sure if you were me, you too will love that. Just like this pig.
Pig. Did you say pig, Ambu?
Yeah. There was this couple, Ramu and Rani, living with Ramu's mother, Kamakshi. Now, Ramu was a devoted son. Every morning, he will touch the feet of his mother before starting any work. One day, Rani's friend Padmini came to Rani and said, "Hey Rani, you know what? There is this Swamiji here, the sage, who can tell you who you were in your previous birth." Rani was obviously tempted. So she went to that Swamiji, bowed, sat in front of him and asked, "Swami, can you tell me who I was in my previous birth?" And the sage replied, "I cannot tell you. I can only guide you. Travel backwards and you see what you saw and you feel what you felt." And Rani closed her eyes and she traveled back in time, and she saw herself, she felt herself wearing nice jewelry and dancing on a stage, and a big crowd applauding for her. She opened her eyes. She couldn't contain her excitement. I was a dancer in the king's court. She went to each and everyone to tell that. "Hey Marina, do you know what? I was a dancer in the king's court. Hey Banu, you know what? I was a dancer in the king's court." She couldn't contain that. She went to everyone. And of course, to her mom-in-law too. "I was a dancer in the king's court. And this birth, And now Kamakshi was intrigued. If my daughter-in-law was a dancer, then I should have been someone better than her. She went to the sage, sat before him. "Swami, can you tell me who I was in my previous birth?" And the sage replied, "I cannot tell you. I can only guide you. Travel backwards and you see what you saw and you feel what you felt." Kamakshi closed her ears. She traveled back and back and she opened her eyes. She was so happy. I knew I was someone better than my daughter-in-law. I was the king. She was a dancer in my court, but I was the king. She started to leave, but a thought struck her. If she knows something, I should know something better than her. So she asked the sage, "Swami, can you tell me who I will be in my next birth?" "I cannot tell you that. I can only guide you. Close your eyes and travel forward. And you see what you will see. And you feel what you will feel." Kamakshi closed her eyes and she traveled and she traveled. She ran to her son. "Ramu, you know what, Ramu? Amma, cool down, Amma, what happened?" "Ramu, my next birth, come, I will introduce you to my mother." "Your mother? She died years back, Amma." "Not this birth, Ma. My next birth, my mother in my next birth. Come, I will show." She took Ramu to the gutter and she pointed to the fattest, ugliest, dirtiest pig and said, "That will be my mother in my next birth, Ramu." Ramu couldn't believe that. "Come on, Amma, you're just thinking too much." "No, Ramu, I saw that pig had 4 piglets. 2 boys, my brothers, your uncles, 1 girl, my sister, your aunt, and the 4th one, me. You see the scar? The same scar was on the forehead of the 4th piglet. Ramu couldn't believe even a single word, but he was a devoted son. So he just pacified his mother. Days passed by thinking about her next birth. Kamakshi fell ill. She was in a deathbed, and one day she called Ramu. Ramu, Ramu, promise me, Ramu, promise me something. Ramu was a devoted son, and he said, of course, Amma, whatever you ask. Ramu, Ramu, I don't want to live a life of the pig, Ramu. Kinga, I was a king in my previous birth, not a pig in my next birth. Dirty pig. No, please, Ramu, kill me as soon as I am born as a piglet, Ramu. Will you do that? Promise me. For Ramu was a devoted son. He promised that he will kill. Well, Kamakshi passed away. Months passed by, and one day when Ramu was returning from work, he heard some sound in the gutter. He went there, and what did he see? 4 piglets, and yes, one had a scar on its forehead. Ramu couldn't believe his eyes. He was so happy he could see his mom, but the promise that he gave, he was a devoted son. How can he not keep his promise? He ran inside the house, took a big butcher's knife, came, took that little piglet with trembling hands. Without looking at its eyes, he just raised the knife and he was about to bring down. The piglet spoke. Stop, Ramu, don't kill me. Amma, you're talking to me, Amma. Yes, I got permission for 2 minutes, please. But Amma, sorry, Amma. I never knew that you were already born, Amma. I will kill you. Just 1 second, Amma. No, Ramu, don't kill me. No, 1 second. No, yes. Stop, said the piglet. And Ramu stopped. But why, Amma? Ramu, when I was not a pig, I never knew the life of a pig can be so beautiful. No cooking, no washing, no cleaning, nothing to worry about. I can go anywhere. I can roll anywhere. No, life of a pig. I can't tell you, Ramu. You have to be born as a pig to understand how beautiful a pig's life can be. Okay, so don't kill me. Ramu was relieved, for he didn't have to kill his own mother. From the next day onwards, every morning, Ramu would come, touch the feet of that piglet before starting any work. For life is so very beautiful. Let's live the way we want. I may be a pig. I may be a king. I may be a monster. I may be a worm. Whoever I may be, whoever you may be, life is so very beautiful. Let's live the way we want. Come on, let's live the way we want it, girls.
Actually, Ambu, the general perspective could be the pigs are the very dirty creatures. But to me, just like Kamakshi, Ramu's mom, I feel pigs are the happiest creatures. No inhibitions, happily rolling in the mud.
Dave, everyone looks at life from a very different perspective. It's like, you remember I told you about my sister and myself the other day?
Like you and your that one elder sister, both of you used to go to college together, wear jeans, do so many stuff together, right?
Yes, that's the one.
Hey, what was that, Prati? Can you tell us about it?
Banu, it's like I have a couple of older sisters, but unfortunately, they only got to study till their 12th standard. But the sister immediately older to me and I were the lucky ones. We went to college. We also got to do our masters. And how did we do this? For me, my older sister was the one who spoke to my parents, made them understand the importance of it. She did all the research on different colleges, different streams. She did basically all the hard work, and all I had to do was blindly follow her footsteps. I was telling my sister the other day this, and interestingly, according to her, we were both working as a team. Whatever was done was because we had done it together and not like she had done it and I had just followed it. And it really got me thinking, we are just a year apart, brought up the same way, almost equal maturity, and yet the same experience, how the two of us looked at it from very different perspective.
It just goes to say that, we could be living under the same roof and we think we are living the same life, but we are living such different lives.
Interesting you should say that, Kansh. You said living under the same roof and yet very different lives. I have just the story for that. This story is a Vietnamese folktale about a very young couple, Chan and Lee. They were childhood sweethearts and they grew up together and they got married. But unfortunately, when Lee was pregnant with her first child, Chan was taken away. You see, the land was ruled over by a tyrant called Hoang. Hoang would levy very, very high taxes on his people, and if anybody even so as complained about it, immediately they were imprisoned and sent off towards building the Great Wall of China. One fine day, Hoang decided that he does not like scholars and educated people. And so the very next day, all the school teachers, the learned people, they were all taken away and sent towards the wall, creating the wall or building the wall. Chan was a school teacher, and that's the reason why he was taken away. Very soon, Lee gave birth to an adorable little boy, and she named him Chin, because that's the name Chan wanted for his son. She brought up the boy in the best way she could, with a lot of love and affection, and she always told the little boy that the father has gone away to a faraway land to do some important work, but he will be back soon, because she strongly believed that her beloved will be back soon. But what she felt bad about was her husband, her Chan, could not watch his own son grow up. Those growing up years are the best time, aren't they? And she felt really bad that the father could not see the little boy grow up. But nevertheless, she would teach him a lot of different things. She would teach him with the books of his own father. And every night, as she tucked the boy into bed, he would pray and she would place a little lamp by the windowsill, sit on her rocking chair and rock away to sleep. She would be waiting for her husband to come back. And that is how she slept almost every other night. One night, when she had fallen asleep on her rocking chair, a storm grew outside and there was thunder and lightning, and this woke the little boy up. He was scared and he said, Mama, where are you? The mother rushed towards him. Lee placed the lamp on a table outside the little boy's room, and as she walked across into the door, she cast a large shadow on the wall. The boy was as it is startled with all the thunder and the lightning. And when he saw this something huge, an image he had never seen before, he got even more scared and he said, Ma, what is that? Ma, what is that? To calm the boy down, she said, oh, that is the image of your father. He has come over to look after you. The boy immediately jumped out of his bed, came to his knees, folded his hands and said, thank you, Father. Thank you for coming to look over me. And he promptly jumped onto his bed and fell asleep. Now this became their new routine. The placing of the lamp, the walking inside, the casting of the shadow, the coming down on the knees and praying to his father and thanking him. One night, after all of this was done and everybody had fallen asleep, Lee was summoned to a temple. She had to rush out. You can't say no, even if it's in the middle of the night. But as she opened the door, to her surprise, she found Chan standing right there. She called him in and he said, oh, I just escaped from the prison. I couldn't take it anymore. Oh, is that so? Oh, that's wonderful. But shh. Oh, you just hide inside the house. Don't wake the little boy up. I've just got a little chore to do. I'll quickly finish it and come back. She rushed outside with a smile on her face, trying hard not to smile, trying hard to keep a straight face because she couldn't tell anybody that her beloved had escaped from the prison. Chan stood in the room, watching his son, adoring him, admiring him, with a little smile on his face and a lot of love in his heart. The boy stirred a little bit in his sleep. Chan couldn't control himself and he went closer to the boy. He looked at his father and he got a little scared and he said, "Who are you?" "I am your father. I'm your father, little one." "Oh, rubbish. Go away. My father comes to put me to bed every night." Chan did not know what to make of it. He just couldn't understand. He had come back home after 4 long years, and Lee had just rushed out in the middle of the night, not even telling him where she was going. And here his son is talking about a strange man putting him to bed every single night. Oh, has Lee lost her love for me? Has Lee remarried? Oh, these thoughts were brewing in his mind, sitting there all alone. The more he thought about it, the more he was convinced that Lee had remarried. He just assumed that that is the truth, and he walked right outside the house. He didn't want to stay there any longer. Lee bumped into him on the way and she said, "Where are you going? The soldiers are all around. They're going to catch you. Come, hide inside the house." Chan was so furious. He just screamed out at Lee and he told her all that he thought she had done. And he went away from there. Lee was not hurt, but Lee was upset. Lee was sad for Chan. She thought, poor Chan, what and all he must be going through, assuming these things about me. She tried to look for him everywhere, but he had hid in a place where nobody could find him. As I told you, she couldn't even ask for anybody for help. She looked for him over days and nights in every possible place. And she felt more and more bad for him, sad for him, upset for him, that one day she couldn't take it any longer and jumped off the cliff. The neighbors took Lee in. They started taking care. The neighbors took the little boy in and they started taking care of the little boy. In a few days, a decree was passed that all scholars and educated people were free. They need not be imprisoned anymore. Chan heard this news in his hiding place, and so he came out and he went up to his village. He went there and he heard about Lee. It kind of didn't make sense to him. He did not understand why she would just jump off the cliff. But he went to meet his boy. It was dark. The little boy was already put to bed. Chan placed that lamp on a table outside his room. He walked across and a large shadow was cast on the wall. Chin, the little boy, jumped out of his bed, came down on his knees, folded his hands and said, "Thank you, Mommy. Thank you for coming over to look after me." Chan finally understood the truth, but yes, it was a bit too late. The story.
That story brings out so many emotions. It's so touching, no?
Oh, yeah. How we just jump to conclusions, even about the people we love.
All it needs is just an open conversation, no? And then you'll be able to understand what the other person actually feels. But that doesn't happen always. That is the very difficult part of it.
Hey, why so serious, Pa? Listen to this story now. La 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 la. We are the village fools. Yes, this is a story about 3 very special people. Ooh, ooh, and were the village simpletons. They would go on celebrating just about anything and everything, even if it were being called the village fools. The villagers were not so bad themselves. They were particularly kind-hearted and they were very fond of these three simpletons. Every day would be a different day for them because of all the pranks and all the tricks and riddles they would come up with. And they would ask numerous questions about why is the sky so high? Why is it so blue? If one tree grows from one seed, how many trees can we get from so many seeds inside a papaya fruit, from so many seeds inside a watermelon fruit? Oh, endless questions. The villagers would rack their brains, not knowing what to do and what to tell them. And that was not just it. They would go on around asking them to do various different things. They usually do this. And on one fine day, they went about asking one of the villagers, "Dear brother, do you think you can do with your eyes open what we do with our eyes closed?" Yeah, sure. Eyes open, right? I mean, you guys don't do much. I'm sure I can do it. Quickly, all three of them bent down, picked up a fistful of mud, lifted their chin, shut their eyes, and poured the mud all over their eyes. Quietly, they wiped off the mud. "Now is your turn, brother. Can you do it?" "Oh, silly fellows. You guys keep coming up with something or the other like this, and you never let us do any work. Off you go now. I have a job to do." This was becoming consistent. Nowadays, all the villagers were telling them, "Please go away. We've got a job. I have some work to do. Don't disturb us." This was not okay with ooh, and So they decided, let's get ourselves a job, just like all the other villagers. They went about asking every single one of them. And one of them said, "A job for you? Oh, no, 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 never. Don't even think about it." Another villager said, "Oh, we love you all right, but we don't love you that much. How do you think we can entrust you with any responsibility?" And another villager said, "I must be mad to give you with some responsibilities. You guys, you silly fellows, you just go around the village and do nothing." All three of them were very dejected now. So they decided they'll go straight to the most kindest man in the entire village, the village headman. They went straight up to him and asked, "Sir, we have to prove it to the villagers that we can do anything. And for that, we will need to raise goats. Please, 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 just give us 2 goats so we can raise it and prove it to them." The village headman thought hard for a while. He was feeling pity for the goats, of course, which had to be left under the care of these 3 simpletons who did absolutely nothing. Well, but he was a kind-hearted man. "All right, I will give you the goats, but on one condition. You have to cross the village river and come and tell me all about your adventure." "Oh, no, 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 anything but that. We will do anything, sir. But not the village river, not the village river. Never, never." No, what do we do? They looked at each other. Well, ever since they were young, the villagers had fed them stories about how the village river is very angry and it would just gobble people up if they ever ventured into the river, pretty much being concerned about the safety of these simpletons. But they didn't have a choice this time. They hung their heads low and walked right up to the village headman's house and straight onto the riverbank. They sat there for hours and hours, staring at the river, staring at themselves, staring at the river. Soon, it grew dark. They decided, "I think it's time to light a campfire and then think about it. Shall we?" And they all went. La 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 la, let's get some firewood. La 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 la, let's make some fire. La 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 la, wait for the river to sleep. La 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 la, to get across the river. And they all sang and danced, and they got tired, and they all slept. In the middle of the night, got up with a jolt. Hey, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. What is it? What is it? Asked. We never came up with an idea to know how the river is awake or asleep. What do we do now? Got the idea. He quietly went and picked up one of the firewood, which was still lit with fire and blazing with fire. All three walked in unison and then went real close to the river and dipped the firewood into the river. Psh, came a sound. Get back, get back, get back. The river is still awake. We don't want to get eaten, right? Back off, back off, back off. Shh. They walked back to the bank and then sat there. They were worried. They were tired. And they slept once again. It was almost dawn now, and the fire was completely out. Ooh, we have slept too much. I better go and find out whether the river is awake or asleep. He picked up one of the firewood, which was now out of fire. He went straight up to the riverbank and dipped it into the river. And no sound. The river is asleep. Yes, 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 yes. And he quickly came and woke the other two. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. And all three of them went. Each one after the other, they stepped into the river. Shh, shh, shh. The river is so chill. The river water is touching me. I've never been here. Shh, shh. Quiet, said. Quiet. You wake the river. Do you want to get eaten by the river? And all three of them quietly, stealthily walked. Luckily for them, this was a time of the year where it was not too much in the river, and they picked a shallow side of the river. They got right across the bank and stepped out. Now they were all happy to be on the other side of the river, but just they wanted to ensure that they were all safe. So they went ahead counting. Started with the counting. 1, 2. Oh, only 2. We came as 3. Now there are only 2. 1, 2. What do we do? We came as 3. The river has eaten one of us, Acho. Seeing all of this, one of the other villagers on the bank came and he wanted to help out. He said, wait a minute, what's the hurry? You haven't counted properly. You need to count yourself as well. Oh, okay. And went on again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the river has given us one extra person. Yay, it has rewarded us for our bravery. Yay, we should have done this earlier. The villager was annoyed. You are counting wrong again. Why do you count me? Count yourselves. And the counting process went on and on for a while, all the time with the wrong count. And the villager finally gave up and went off on his way. And all three of them came back, that they were overjoyed that they went in as 3 and now they've returned as 4 people. They all crossed the riverbank, once again in the stealthy mode that they walked in, and they went straight to the village headman's house. Now the village headman didn't have much of a choice but to give them their 2 goats that they had asked for, 1 white goat and 1 black goat. They returned with their goats and they sat there on the riverbank, looking at the ears, examining it, looking into it, where it led to inside the goat's ears, and measuring the legs of the white goat and the black goat, looking all important. Just then, a man from another village came by, looked at all three of them and assumed that they must be most intelligent people and they will be able to clear all his doubts about their raising goats. So he went straight up to them and asked, excuse me, sir, can you please tell me, how do you care for these goats? Or which one are you asking? The white goat or the black goat? Sir, can you tell me about the white goat, please? The white goat, well, for the white goat, we feed grass. And for the black goat, sir? For the black goat, we feed grass. What is the difference? Well, don't you see? It is a white goat and it is a black goat. There is so much difference. Do you not see it? Okay. So how do you care for the goats? Which one are you asking? The white goat or the black goat? The white goat, sir, as if there is a difference. The white goat, we give bath in fresh river water. And for the black goat, sir, for the black goat, we give bath in fresh river water. Where have I got myself into? To assume that these guys knew everything about raising goats. And he bolted in the direction that he came from and off he ran. And these three once again went la 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 la. We are the village fools.
Oh my God, Priya, trust you to come up with a story like this. It's so hilarious. But you know, it does put a very different spin on things.
Yeah, it is a fool's tale, but still, like all other fool's tales, the message between the lines is so profound.
Yeah, I mean, look at their lives. It's so original, so creative, so full of questions and curiosity, bubbling with energy all the time, keeping everyone happy, a little bit annoying at times. But I really wish if we will ever be able to live like that.
Oh, yeah. See, often we are misled by what other people say but sometimes, only after listening to what other people say, we realize what we already know.
What do you mean by that one?
Ambu, babe, I mean, shall I tell you in Springboard Tales style with a story, I mean? Yeah, so this is a story from Baghdad. A young, rich, charming Abu lived in Baghdad. He was a wealthy man. He had a huge business and everything was fine. Did I tell you that he loved God and he trusted his dreams? Yes, you heard me right. He used to trust his dreams. Whenever he get a dream in the night, the first thing in the morning he would do is he would take out his journal, write down all the details, the shapes, the colors, whatever he heard, whatever he saw, whomever he met, everything goes on his journal. Not only that, he sits and contemplates on every detail. Just that? No. He relates that dream, his contemplation, to his real life and take actions accordingly. So one day, misfortune had struck him. Oh no, his business stopped. He had to work all day from morning till night to earn for his meager meal. All that he had behind was his beautiful house. For some reason, he had that house alone, and that house was right in front of the beautiful fountain, and it was surrounded by trees that he loved to live there. He just had that alone. But still he continued to pray to God, for he loved God and he trusted his dreams. God, I know Allah, you have some good plan for me, but this life is so painful. Please be with me and help me to overcome the situation. His prayers continued until one night. In his dream, he heard a voice. Abu, come to Cairo. Your fortune is there. Your tharwa is there at Cairo. Come. He woke with a start from his sleep. He really wanted to go. He wanted to start immediately, but he had no money. He soon reached out to his friends and he borrowed some money, hired a camel, and he mounted on the camel. He continued his journey. Oh, yeah, to Cairo on camel's back was a long journey. He days and nights he traveled and finally he reached Cairo. He roamed and roamed in streets. He couldn't find where his treasure was. Finally, he landed onto a street where he saw a mosque just in front of him. He was so very tired and it was almost evening, darkness surrounded, so he decided to stay there in the mosque for that night. He came down, he entered the mosque, he took his simple blanket which he had, he covered himself and curled up like a cat in the corner. Misfortune and unluck did not stop Abu. It chased him even at Cairo. He was stopped even there. There was a house just next to the mosque, and there were this group of robbers who planned to loot that house that night. They waited till night, and at just midnight, they tried to lock open. Oh no, misfortune has struck them as well. The people in the house awoke with a sound that they made, and they all tried to scream and shout, "Hey, robbers, help, help, robbers, thief!" And soon the robbers disappeared. The police reached. They looked here, there, everywhere for the robbers. They couldn't find anyone, but they entered the mosque. One of the police officer, he spotted that someone tossing in sleep. So he just went and grabbed. Yes, you're right. He was Abu, poor Abu. He was tired and he was twisting and tossing in bed in his sleep. He grabbed and said, "Hey, you robber, you're hiding here. Come with me." He was pulled by his collar and taken to the police station and was given nice thrashings with palm rods. "Oh no, sir, why are you beating me? Please spare me, I'm innocent." You are innocent? You have planned to rob the house? "No, sir, no, I wasn't the one. Please spare me." All his pleading and begging did not work at all. No. He was put in the prison for 3 days. Still, he loved God. He trusted his dreams. And he asked, "God, what is this? Is this the fortune that you have for me in Cairo? Please help me. Please be with me." And at the end of the 3rd day in his prison, there came the chief of the police officers. "Hey, you, come here. Who are you, huh?" "Sir, I'm Abu. I'm from Baghdad." "Baghdad, you say? Huh? What made you to come to Cairo, huh?" "Sir, I came..." "Yes, tell me." "I came behind my dream." And he stated the entire story. "A dream? You came believing a dream?" So funny, so funny. You must be a silly guy, I must say. The chief of the police officer made fun and laughed at Abu and his belief. Oh no. "Hey, silly man, you know what? I too got a dream," said the chief of the police officer. "Not once, not twice, but thrice I got a dream saying that there's some house and there's a fountain and there is a tree surrounded and there is a treasure chest buried under the earth and it's full of, the expensive rubies, gems, jewels and whatnot." Am I a fool to go behind that dream all the way to Baghdad looking for a treasure? I have better jobs to do here. Oh, sir, I don't know. I don't know whether this palm thrashing is what my fortune here in Cairo. Please, please let me go. Here, take the money. Off you go. Abu not only got the money, but also the map to the treasure chest. He rode back all the way to Baghdad. He dug the ground and found the treasure just right in front of his house. Yeah.
Wow, wow, Banu. That was like a wild goose chase, if you ask me.
Exactly, Ambu. That's what happens to me every time when I have to do a new storytelling session. You know what? The moment I get a call from someone asking for a session from me, my mind goes blank. In spite of my so-called repertoire or the database or my experience, I go completely blank. Oh no, what story, what theme? Do I do an activity? What song where I can add? Oh my God. Just then, I used to call one of you. Oh, I remember, or you remember very well that one of you have had that experience with me. And the moment I speak to one of you do something, and I get the flow of the stories from my database, and everything gets clarity and it comes in front of my eyes.
That's why, Banu, I've always thought you call one of us, at least one of us, whenever there's a new story that we need to do, but you never choose the stories that we suggest. Never.
That's what, Priti, that's what she's telling. She just wants to call all of us, ask for stories, and then pick the one from her own database, reject our stories, and go with that.
Exactly.
Always.
No, dears. How can I do that with you? Come on, it's all your stories that jumpstart my memory. Trust me.
No, I think it's like they say, you have to lose something and only then you understand its real value. Like that, you probably have to go on such a wild goose chase and then you come back home and you find your treasure staring at your face right there, right? I mean, this kind of reminds me of this slice of life story that I read about this girl. Her name is Amara, and she is, your typical high flying, very motivated and uber cool modern woman, enjoying the adrenaline rush of a 24/7 job and weekends partying away the nights, just completely enjoying herself. But then motherhood happens. So her life undergoes a complete sea change. And she's was promised, that being a mommy is all rainbows and roses and sunshine. But most of us have been there, right? New mom, first time mom, young mom. So Amara is all of this. So after such an active life, now she's at home day in, day out, trying to be a mommy, and all her friends, single, they're continuing that life. So Amara feels, they've all abandoned her and she has to deal with all of this on her own. She has nobody. And, she's so stressed and frustrated. And as always, it's the spouse that notes, then when we have completely lost our mind. So her better half tells her, Amara, you look dreadful. You just have to get out of the house. Forget about your old friends. Find new friends. Find your tribe. But Amara, she's in complete denial. No, I don't need new friends. Come on, I'm fine. Life is perfect. I have a 6-week-old baby. I have so many things to be thankful for. Find my own tribe. Anyways, her partner gets ready and leaves for work, and Amara is just watching, put on the pant, button up the shirt, and stride out. And Amara is feeling envious. And then she takes a look at herself in the mirror. Oh, she sees what everyone sees: disheveled hair, smudged makeup, dry lips, and that ill-fitting baggy dress. All red flags. no, I have to conquer this motherhood, she decides. And when she was leaving the hospital, they had given her a visiting card for a mother baby interaction, like a social group. So she picks up the card. Busy bees, this is where I'm going. And she decides to go and conquer it, find her tribe, all that. So she's wrapping up, getting her baby all dressed up, and she's swaddling the baby. And in 6 weeks of being a mom, if there's one thing she had mastered, it's swaddling the baby. And every time she did it, she always laughed to herself, thinking, I'm putting my baby in a straight jacket. Anyway, she did that and put the baby in the bassinet and then picked up the baby bag. And she's ready now, ready to conquer motherhood. And she goes straight to Busy Bees. And all these children places, so pretty, the teddy bears and bunnies and balloons and streamers, so cute, and the doors are wide open. Amara immediately feels so welcome and so positive. Bassinet, bag, and she walks straight to the door, but there's a force field stopping her from entering. The door is open. She's trying to get in, but oh my God, what's happening? And all eyes on her. Then she realizes it's that baby bag. In her over enthusiasm, she has packed like some 100 diapers, some 1,000 wipes and lotions, massage oils and creams and all kinds of things. So for this small, cutie 6-week-old baby, she has this humongous bag, and now that's not letting her enter Busy Bees. She yanks it, she goes in, almost falls, but no, she doesn't. She holds the bassinet close to her, and then the bag's all spilled over. She somehow puts everything inside. All eyes on her. Everybody is looking at her, and they all seem to have this question: what are you doing? Which is pretty much the question Amara has been asking herself for the last 6 weeks. But then she looks around, 1 hour, I have to get through with this. And then she finds the place where she wants to go. In high school, college, and all that, we have this in-girls gang, right? They're all just dressed up well, makeup on point. They're fantastic at academics, superb at extracurricular. Everybody loves them. Everybody wants to be with them, wants to be them. So Amara had always been the leader of this in-gang. So now, in Busy Bees, she spots the hallowed ground. That's it, the in-mommy gang. Now this is where I want to be. And so she takes her baby, takes the bag, and she goes there and ta-da! And they all just look at her. Ta-da. Oh, hi, I'm Amara, and this is my little baby. She's 6 weeks old. My bundle of joy and absolute torture. Nobody is laughing. They're all just looking at her. And she doesn't know what to do. She feels awkward. And then they just pull up a chair and she sits down and she's looking. And direct question. So, what do you do? How is the sleeping and all happening? Sleeping? What a joke. I haven't slept in 6 weeks. Oh my God. What? You said 6 weeks, right? Yeah. You've not sleep trained your baby yet? Dr. Pat Pattinson says you have to sleep train the baby in 1 week. 6 weeks and she's not sleep trained the baby. Dr. Pat Pattinson? Amara asked. Oh, but my pediatrician is different. You don't know Dr. Pat Pattinson? He's written all the Bibles for motherhood and being a mom and bringing up a baby. Oh, but what about the sleeping? No, but I don't have to be worried about that, because baby Maria, she sleeps with me only, next to us only. So she moves also in there. Co-sleeping. Oh my God, co-sleeping. Dr. Pat Pattinson has written an entire series on how harmful co-sleeping is. Oh my God. And now Amara's getting bombarded with all these things. And she's like looking at these ladies and, her heart is a flutter. Am I doing everything wrong? And she's increasingly aware about how perfect they are, perfectly dressed, perfect makeup, perfect everything. And, she starts scratching on some crusty vomit on her collar. And then someone asks her something and she just randomly says, no, 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 not at all. No, not at all. 6 weeks, baby. Oh no, what did you? Oh, sorry, I didn't get you. No, we asked you how the breastfeeding is going. Oh, the breastfeeding. Pakka, perfect. I was born to do this, Oh God, I hope the feeding bottle doesn't fall out of the bassinet. And that's when baby Maria just turns in the bassinet. Oops, up popped the bottle with formula in it and rolled into the middle of the hallowed ground. Immediately silence. Formula. She's giving the baby formula. Oh my God. And Amara just completely loses it. She came here looking for her tribe, for some support, but no, all she got was questions, judgment. She grabs the bottle, puts it back inside the bassinet, takes her bag, and she says something rude that leaves them all. And she leaves Busy Bees. She went back home and she's angry. She's waiting for her better half to come home. And there her wife, Becky, enters. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Don't ever ask me to leave this house again. I went to that Busy Bees and those ladies. Calm down, her wife says. What happened, Amara? I'm right here for you. And Amara narrates everything that happened at Busy Bees. Oh, I'm so sorry this happened, baby. But you know what? I knew you were going through a very difficult time now. So I've also taken maternity leave and I'm going to be with you. Together, we will look after the baby, okay? You don't have to go back to Busy Bees anymore. Good thing I don't have to go there. And she hugs her wife and they are both hugging. And then Becky says, but 1 minute, Amara, what was the rude remark you said that left them all with their mouth open? I just said that I'm not breastfeeding only because it's interfering with my drug habit. And Becky just burst out laughing because for the first time, Amara saw someone laughing at her joke. And then she realized, I don't have to go out and look for my tribe. My tribe is right here, my wife. What do I need beyond this? So it just, it's like it happens like that often when we go out and we're looking for our treasure and our treasure is just right there with us.
Yeah, Kancho, how clever and funny Amara, right? But actually, that also reminds me, like, how many times moms get judged for the choices they make, right?
Yes, and yet every mom is always giving her best.
Yeah, and in this case, you see, it's moms.
Yeah, leave alone her choice for going for formula milk. Even the choice of a partner has raised so many eyebrows. Remember the Deepa Nair movie that came years back and created so much of fuss around?
Exactly. But that's the thing, Ambu. I feel that today people are more open and they embrace homosexuality more than when it comes to a mother's decision of whether she works or stays at home, breastfeeds, goes for formula. It's her personal choice. And at the end of the day, so much of judgment, so much of questions. It's just so sad that she has to face all this.
But what I feel, Kanchu, it's all about time, you see. One issue is seen from one perspective at one point of time. But then when time changes, the same thing, is seen from a different perspective. Because the only thing that is constant in life is change of this time. Because drums of time, Leela of time, and tales of time, everything just changes with time. So here is a Rajasthani folk tale from me. Once upon a time, there was a small village. Happy, content. Don't think that everyone there were very rich. But they were all very simple people. Simple life, simple work, simple dreams, simple desire, as much as they could hold in the palms of their hand. And in that village lived a very poor farmer, Ramu. He didn't have any land of his own. So he used to do his farming in a rich man's land. So one day, as usual, he went to do his work and he was singing and digging. मेरे देश की धरती होय 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 मेरे देश की धरती सोना उगले उगले हीरे मोती मेरे देश की धरती मेरे देश Ramu froze. His eyes were whitened, his jaws dropped because right in front of him he found not one, not two, not three, but 7 pots full of gold coins. Ramu was super excited and he just brought a bullock cart and loaded these pots full of gold coins in the cart and headed straight. Any guesses? I know what you all are thinking, girls. But you are not right. Ramu went straight to that rich man, his master's house. He was a simple man after all, Ramu. So he went there and he called out, Bauji, Bauji. That's how he used to address his master. Bauji, gazab ho gaya. You know, I have found pots of gold in your land. Where should I keep them? Now, again, what do you think that rich man replied? He was also from a simple time, right? So he said, oh, Ramu, I am so happy for you. Of course, you take this pot and keep somewhere in your house, you know. My house? No, Bauji. How can I do that? I have found them in your land, so I should keep them at your house. You only found, right? So you should take them. No, Bauji, your land, so you should keep. You. It happened for some time and then stop. That master called. No more argument. See, Ram, when you are walking in my land, suppose a snake comes and bites you. Who will die, you or me? I am working and the snake is coming and biting me. I only will die, Bauji. Yes, exactly. So, while you are working there, if anything good happens, you should reap the fruit, right? No. Oh, you are confusing me, Bauji, with all your words. No. That's it, final. Go away with the spots of gold. Keep it with you. I am not happy with this judgment. And Ramu went from the rich man's house to complain to the village headman. The village headman heard everything and said, well, these pots came out on their own or you dug them out? Of course, I dug them out. So how can the pots come out of their own? Exactly. So there lies the answer. Since you have dug them out, so you should keep them. But I found them in my master's land. No, how can I keep them? While you are working there, don't you breathe the air? While I am working, I breathe. I breathe. You don't want me to breathe the air, is it? Why should I ask you to do such silly thing? Then see, you take these pots and go. That's it. Don't waste my time. But my time is already wasted over these pots of gold. Acha, for last time, just give one permission. May I keep those pots back at the same place where I found them? Your wealth, your wish, do whatever you want. And Ramu came back exactly at the same spot in that land, dug the ground, buried the pot, covered it with soil, and said, "Ah, Shanti, finally, peace." And the problem of the pots of gold coins remained unresolved. Meanwhile, the wind of change kept blowing over the slope of time. And caught in the grip of time, neither Ramu nor his master, the rich man, nor that the village headman, nobody endured. And in their place appeared completely new generation, a new generation with new blood. So one day, Ram's son was waiting outside his house, and that rich man's grown-up son came filled with fury and charged him. Ramu ke bache, return my pots full of gold coins. You have stolen them away. Good that I have taken them. He has checked before coming, it seems, muttered Ramu's son. And then he cleared his throat and said, see, these pots belong to me, actually, because I'm paying rent for that land. So technically they belong to me. I have taken them. What is it? What? These pots are lying there for years. And that time, my father never charged a single paisa from your father as rent. So technically, these pots belong to me. Give them back to me. Me. And at the spur of that moment, that rich man's son unsheathed his sword and tried to attack Ramu's son. He too took out his weapon, threatening, screaming, shouting, yelling, and then hitting. And drops of blood began falling on the ground of that village, which was once so happy, so joyful. The peace of the village was now engulfed with the flame of this fury. And next, the case went to the village headman of the new generation. So he thought first, it's a juicy case. It seems a nice way to bribe my hand. First of all, the spot should go back to that same place, that same spot. And this case is very, very complicated. It will need lots of hearings, many dates, a lot of time, you see. I have to think, I have to contemplate, I have to hear, discuss. So not easy. Meanwhile, that rich man's son nicely bribed him. And his verdict was coming slowly towards his side when Ramu's son started using his power too, power of money. And his verdict was now going towards his side, in his favor. Like this, the spineless tongue of this new generation's village headman began changing side, just like a pendulum oscillating. Tick, tock, tick, tock. And the problem of the pot of gold remained unresolved. But something was blowing. Yes, you are right. The wind of change. Many a sun rose up in the sky. Many a sun set in the horizon. And another generation came up. another generation with new thought. So one day, that rich man's granddaughter went to meet Ramu's grandson in the college in the town. Hey, bro, what's up? Hello. You know me, right? Of course. I mean, you were like my grandfather's so-called super boss's entitled granddaughter, right? Oh, come on. Hey, listen. If you have come here to talk about the same pots of gold coins, I'm just not interested. Oh, what do you think? I'm interested, huh? Then, but don't you think we should be interested? I mean, we can do lots of things with it. We can improve the condition of our village. We can have schools, colleges, and the children won't have to come like us all the way to town, you see? Ah, brain, huh? Girl power, girl power. As if. By the way, I want a playground for the boys. Oh, hello, sexist. Not the boys only, right? For everyone. Whatever. Yes. So, school, college, playground, hospital, and yeah, food for the needy people. Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. We can do lots of things. Yeah. And they began doing it. They're still doing it. And I'm sure they'll continue doing this good job. So the problem of time got resolved with time.
Such a positive story, Dev. I mean, such timeless tales we've shared today.
That may very well be so, but I definitely think it's time for us to order and eat something now. Shall we?
Yeah, so hungry. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Veggies for me today.
No, please, no veggies, no. Let's do smileys.
No, the good old French fries are always the best.
Wait, girls. Veggies, smileys, fries.
Boring.
The same thing, right? I mean, like same ingredients. One potato, oil, salt, pepper. Then what's the difference?
The way they are pursued and perceived, just like our stories. One potato, different forms, different perspectives.
Perspectives. That'll be our theme for Chennai Storytelling Festival.
Yeah.
Yay!
Perfect.
Perfect. Yes. So this was our presentation of Cafe-storia. Just sneak peek of those moments where we all met, we all story lovers met and discussed and reflected over stories, chit-chatted over stories and prepared our stories. So we just enjoyed bringing those moments, reliving those moments and sharing those moments with you. I'm sure you all have also enjoyed sharing that with us. I mean, seeing that from us, isn't it? So now let me introduce my friends, all these girls, all my fellow SBTians. First, Ambuja. Yes. Ambu, you know, as I said, she loves composing music for everything. So we call her, you know, Rhythm Rani. So some secret I'm going to tell you about everyone. Next is Banu. As you all must have seen, Banu is super tech savvy, extremely organized, and everything database. Yes, perfectionist. Okay. Next comes Pratigya. Pratigya is no nonsense when stories are to be shared. Everything, time, tools, everything should be proper. Emotions, oh, I just love the way she crafts everything. Yes. So next is Priya. Priya is our darling, you know. She has many feathers in her cap. One of that is storytelling, and she writes and brings different nuances from different stories into her crafting. And her stories are very organic. That's what she loves to always bring out. Yes. Next is Kanchan. Yes, Kanchu is not only a storyteller. I mean, we all are passionate about stories, but her specialty is she is an author, a poet by her own right. Last is me, you know, yours truly. I hope they will tell something about me.
I was waiting that you'll stop so that we can tell something about you. And of
please.
course, Devjani, she doesn't need an introduction at all. And she was the mother hen who created this, even today, the brain behind Cafe-storia. So, thank you.
Thank you, girls. Thank you, everyone. Now, I think there is still time. So we would just like to hear something from you about our presentation. And you can write on the chat box also about your feelings, what you thought about our stories and our perspectives. No. Oh, thank you.
I'll go ahead, Shri here.
Yes.
So I love, I'm partial to some of you, like Ambu and you. I mean, of course, Pratigya's expressions also, but Ambu's singing and Bhanu's voice. Kanchan and Priya, I'm hearing for the first time, but I couldn't hear Priya's story. I got a phone call I was watching on the phone. But each and every story, the way you people interwove them and all, I mean, like, it is so beautiful, you know, and yours, the time in 3 generations, Kanchan's is like contemporary story, what new mothers go through. Each and every story was so beautifully told, and the way you interwove everything as Springboard Tales is like, it's like as though I'm sitting in the cave with you all and listening to you all there. Sharing each story. It was so warm. It was so loving. Really enjoyed them.
Thank you so much.
And I love your expressions. Your expression queen. Yeah.
Okay. I can see in the chat. Oh, Kiran. Oh, love you, Kiran. Kiran has said that she has enjoyed all our stories. David has written. Oh, thank you, David. Thank you so much. Yes. 21 participants are there. Only Sri Karuna telling. Yeah. Others, please, dear.
Others must be in the kitchen, you know, hearing your stories and
I know it's
preparing
lunchtime.
lunch.
Yeah.
Exactly, you got me right. This is Uma Prakash. I am attending your session for the first time. I enjoyed your stories thoroughly. I have, myself, I have taken a child's seat and enjoyed each one of your story and was waiting what comes next, what comes next. And as the earlier lady has told, you have interwoven the stories very well, and the concept, I loved it. So in spite of searching for happiness outside somewhere around and going somewhere, it is always better to find it at the place where we are. Lovely stories.
Thank you so much.
And I wanted to say this for Ambu's story. It was the first story, so I forgot to say. Whenever I saw puppies or dogs pampered and taken here and there, I used to think, what a royal life, you know.
Yeah, very true. I can resonate with that so much, you know.
So when I
Yeah.
heard your pig story and how happy the pig was, I just remember in my thought, next life I want to be a dog. I used to think when I used to see the well-groomed and well-fed puppies and the dogs and all that. So that pig story was very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Not only the domestic pet dogs or anything, even the street dogs, you kind of feel like they are very happy and just enjoy the way they want.
Absolutely. Any animal for that sake, the birds or the squirrel or
Yes.
mercy. Yeah, nice.
Zero cribbing life. They enjoy what we have.
Yes, true. Very true.
Or maybe they do crib. Thankfully, we don't know the language.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, that which we
You
as
brought
long
a
as we can't
different
understand.
perspective again. Perspectives.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the theme. So yeah.
Well, what was the theme that you had in mind, the common theme?
Perspective, Eric.
Perspective, keeping a perspective.
Yeah, like there is nothing called absolute truth. Everything is like how I'm seeing from my perspective. Yours could be different, but we are just fighting because I think that I am the right one. You are thinking that you are telling the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like viewing the alphabet W from one side and saying it's W and it's M from the other side.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shall we end the session?
Sure, Eric.
Yes.
Others,
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Eric.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone,
Eric.
once again.
Thank you, Eric.
Keep enjoying the celebration of stories.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.